I want to thank the province and the Premier for the invitation. I'm sure it's a good environment for everyone except me. The Premier started with me in the morning with the red tapes. So let me paint them brown so that we make it easier for everyone. I'm Mlungisi Wondo from SAHPRA. SAHPRA is South African Health Products Regulatory Authority. SAHPRA is responsible for registering and monitoring medicines in the country. The cannabis we're talking about, and partly hemp, fortunately it falls under SAHPRA. And I would love to give a brief background about SAHPRA. And it was not liked about most people. I've seen some of the faces who didn't want to see SAHPRA. MCC. SAHPRA was MCC before. It was a cluster under National Department of Health. And then it had a structure of a council that was regulating medicines and also inspections. Now we moved into SAHPRA. SAHPRA is the new structure that's out of the government. It's a 3A entity. We report to the minister through the board currently. So I'm hoping that will solve most problems, because then the time frames and all the red tapes, I'm sure they'll go away. We'll be able to be faster now. Since we'll be getting more money from private sector charging fees and also from treasury. The structure currently is the Department of National Health and then the SAHPRA board and then the CEO. Currently we have an acting CEO, that is Poshan Kambule, then the staff, and we still have a few committees that assist us with decisions. Cannabis or hemp, it's a big thing today in the country. As everyone in the room may agree, it started as a herb. So you will ask, why is it regulated by SAHPRA? Instead of it being a herb, people drink it as tea. Those who want to smoke, they smoke. I was panicking, I couldn't present. Jason gave me a cream earlier. I hope he didn't have THC. I feel better. Cannabis and hemp in the country are controlled under Schedule 7. Schedule 7 under Medicines Act, it's your highest control. That is not available in pharmacies or in surgeries for doctors. It's more of banned control, banned substances that are controlled under Schedule 7. You request permit, as we've heard with the previous presentations of requesting permit for this and that. That's why we're requesting permits for research. It's because it was under Schedule 7. Still under Schedule 7, I would like to correct Dr. Goodman. It will be what you like soon. The hemp especially is still under Schedule 7, and also the cannabis as well is still under Schedule 7. The difference is when you go to the specific areas. For medicinal, yes, it is legal. If you will go through SAHPRA, and then it will be your CBD or THC under cannabis, and then under hemp, it doesn't matter whether high CBD or low THC, it's still under research. However, the law is quickly going to the language we've been hearing earlier on. But I'm worried again that there is an export presentation. I saw that we are ranking very low. We can't have export on hemp for now until we have the full law accepting that it happens. So I will correct that slide. I think it was a mistake. So it should be 0 export, 0 import. I didn't see that slide. However, the speed is very fast. I'm sure the other organizations that we're talking earlier, they know where we are. We're not far from making it commercial. However, currently it is still research. So let's leave it at research. Now, what is the fuss now if we're saying cannabis medicinal is legal? The fuss will be, as we heard on the previous presentation, will be your high THC. That's your clear psychoactive side. There is Schedule 6. There is no talk about it. However, if you're still under the plant as CBD and THC, no license, no nothing, still under Schedule 7. Then you go on the CBD. CBD is the one found on hemp and cannabis as well. In South Africa, it is Schedule 4. Schedule 4, it will be your equivalent of your amoxils, where you need a doctor's prescription, you need a pharmacist to dispense. That's how controlled it is. Hoping things will change globally, not from our side only. The reasons being especially on the THC side. THC is controlled by INCB, where we have to report quantities used like global. Unfortunately, South Africa is part of that UN sitting where we have to report annually how much THC we use. So we have to control. Hence, we can't have Insangwe, Mampondweni, hemp. We've had those challenges. I'm sure people will remember where we'll bring in SAPS to burn down fields. It's because we will have found that it's your high THC. It's not hemp at all. So if it's hemp, it won't be a problem. If it's for research for now. However, I think the previous speakers have explained how it may go commercial if it goes with the permits that have been issued, and Eastern Cape having a lot of those. I hope it's your skilled people that have been doing it in the past as well, so that we don't have a challenge that they are left behind. The advantage with hemp will be it's planted outside in large scale, unlike if it goes commercial, it will be your large scales, your 1,000 hectares. We've heard of permits like that through CDC and your Dr. Tandega. Research currently, we've tried to limit it to 2 hectares, but because I think people have explored other uses for industrial, hence they'll want bigger spaces to grow it. Let's go to Judge Zondo's judgment. How does it impact now on us, on medicinal? 0, except that we're having a lot of those products sitting there that are all illegal because, yes, there's no registered product in South Africa of cannabis. So whatever you're buying or using, it's all illegal. Unless, there is unless coming, we are a bit flexible. I'll talk about the unless later on, Section 21. For now, all those products, I'm sure, they are illegal. They didn't go through my office, so they are not medicine. If you buy them at your own risk. Don't call me. The access I was talking about will be Section 21 currently, where you can request SAHPRA for a number of units, for a number of patients. That will be controlled probably by your healthcare professionals requesting exactly for a specific condition. We do award that. We do have people who are selling cannabis products in South Africa under Section 21. And those, I'm still sure they were not in that list. I would like to go more on the part that you are interested on the processes of how to get this medicinal license. Let me start with the quicker one, hemp. Hemp is an easy process because CDC has jumped in and made it easy for people with the motivations and the working with ARC or CSIR to help with the motivation. Why are we doing hemp research? So I think it's been easy on that side for that reason, and it's not a lot of money. Everyone can afford it. It's less than 1,000 rands application fee. No, I said it wrong. It's 800 and something. 1,000 rand sounds very big. It's very cheap, it's 800 and something per application. Yes, that 900. Yeah, I just want to be below 1,000. People come. The bigger part that we're interested in today, it's your medicinal growing and manufacturing and producing a product for South Africa. I would love to go deep on that because that's your bigger business. That is legal currently. The process, it's easy on our website, that is SAHPRA.org.za. You go on the application form and the application fee is 23,908. I was sure that was the cheap part. That's very cheap. Wait for me now. I'm going to the part the printer doesn't like now. That's the cheap part of the application process. It's the 23,000, that's very cheap. And then the application form, and then you make the site master file, bit different from the hemp application now. Now we're going your full medicine regulatory system. You're telling us where's your site, and what is your site doing, and who's working on that site, and what is the facilities that are there, equipment, all of that. You're specifying that on your site master file. Not difficult as well. And then here Dr. Kunene bragging that she has a license. She will tell you how much it costed to have the quality management system. That's your expensive part.
700,000. What?
No, luckily you don't pay. You're not paying government that money. You're paying consultants to help you with that system. So it's not coming to government. There is a nice part. There is a nice part. There is a nice part again. The nice part is after paying that amount, we want to see your facility active when we come inspect. That means you'll be having your security fencing, whatever security is according to your site master file. Then you'll be explaining that to us. And then your restricted access to your growing area. The premier is making a headache now. It's the growing area. The growing area, we don't tell you what system to use. So we won't use your model of a greenhouse because you went extreme expensive, so that's good. There's tunnels. However, now you need to make sure that your controls in that tunnel are close to less contamination to the ground. It's easy still. There are people who are doing those, proving to us that you can do it in a tunnel. Remember here, our main focus is the quality of the product at the end. Because you'll be testing that product while growing, you'll be testing at harvesting, you are testing at drying, before even extraction. So all that testing is telling you your consistency of your quality. So if you don't do it right at the beginning, you want to grow outside like hemp, it's possible. We're not saying it's not possible. However, you need to prove to us that your quality is gonna be what we expect. You're not gonna have pesticides, you're not gonna have your carbon problems, you're not gonna have contamination from neighbors or whatever they are throwing away. If you can prove that, I think it's possible. However, it's not easy to prove that it can be contaminated from outside. Because contamination is anything. It can be from air or water or even animals. So that's the risk with outside. And the risk is not us being strict, it's you controlling the quality up until the end. Because what we are inspecting is the quality systems. If you can prove with testing at the end that your product is good quality, you can't release it. So hence you'll rather do it right from the start. All these products you have that I had complaints earlier that they've got high side effects. Yes, they've got high side effects, but they are manufactured in those controlled environments. There's some pharmaceutical manufacturing even in this town, you know those. They are controlled by us and we monitor them regularly that they are complying with the requirements from SAHPRA. It's not being strict, because I think some people will be knowing the pharmaceutical industry, they will be thinking we're copying Europe because we're working with Europe on the inspections. It's not that. We're looking at the product that, can you take a product that is contaminated and say you want to be healed if it was planted by your neighbor? The answer is no. Will your doctor give you a product that knows is from a contaminated area? No. So the answer at the end of the day is about managing the quality of that product. If I think the drive can be around a good quality system that ensures that the product that goes out of your facility, it's exactly what you want, not a chances that anything can happen. So I think that's the trick around the quality. The process is not difficult. It's the application, as I said. Then after that, you go on to, we give you an inspection date. Then from the inspection date, we give you a report. Then you give us a response. Then if all is good, we went through a few sites here in the Eastern Cape with that process. Most of the people, because of the consultants, they would have been ready by the time we get there. But you can do it yourself. It's just that it's time consuming to make all those processes and qualify. We've got guidance on our website. We've got the growing guidelines. And also, if you're gonna go a step further on the manufacturing, we've got your good manufacturing processes guidelines on our website as well, on how to do all those processes. I don't think it's as difficult as I'm saying it. It's not. If you put your focus in it, it's not even costly in South Africa. The countries that are referenced, they are talking millions applying for a license. In South Africa, you're talking less than 30,000 probably. 30,000 rands. Yes, go to Lesotho. I don't know how much it is. I hear millions. South Africa is very cheap. I think we're the cheapest in the world.
Good point. Are we a plant-based medicine in this country? Or are we growing the African medicine the African way?
That's correct. I like that. It's the African medicine.
No, do that the SAHPRA way. The SAHPRA way is not African medicine.
The processes, I think, are easy on our website to follow, and we're detailing them on the guidelines. We've got the cannabis cultivation guidelines on our website. As I said, I don't think it's a tiring process. The products we have then on the market are all illegal because there's no registered product in South Africa. The simplest way, it's good to see people having products. Ngesilungu busy IP but in most of the times we want shortcuts. If you do it the right way, it's an IP, it's your product, you've formulated it. Why can't you go through the right processes and have it registered? And because that registration assures people that this product went through our assessment and it's safe to take. That's the only difference with registering a product in South Africa. So I'll encourage all these people who have IPs, look at registration of your products. And we've got processes on registering products on our website. I think I've summed most with the application process. I can give back to the program. Thank you.